Okay, I just wanted to introduce this video. This is a go over of my microbiome test results. So if you haven't caught snippets of my Instagram stories and things on Facebook, I have Crohn's disease. I was diagnosed when I was age 11. I've had a lot of issues and I've not made the time to fully and completely heal my gut ever. I've learned a lot along the way. I feel like I'm very quite knowledgeable around gut health and the impacts it has on your health and things that we need to do to help. But unfortunately, it's like the plumber with the leaky tap. I have never really done enough to help myself. And so the last 6 months, I've really been on a journey on giving myself some self-care and self-love. And part of that was really delving into what is wrong with my gut. Like, you know, it's easy to assume, but when you make assumptions, you're sort of still not 100% sure. And there's not really that certainty behind it that will make you stick to a program, or for me anyway, that will make me stick to something and go, yeah, you definitely need to do this. So I decided to team up with Cultured Wellness and do a test with Microba. So basically Microba take a sample of your stool and they analyze it with a genome sequencing tool, basically. And what that means is they're going to pick up all the different types of DNA in your stool so that they can map out exactly what bacteria and parasites and things are in there. They also then tell you at what level those things are in and whether they're good or bad and what kind of foods and things you need to eat to really improve those. This test, though, can then be taken to so many practitioners with knowledge in the gut field to really help either eradicate any bad bugs that you might find in there and also to really build up the good ones. So I'm so grateful that I've actually taken the step and the plunge to take this test because it has actually eased my mind in that I don't have any bad bugs in my gut. I was thought, yeah, I've got to have a parasite or I've got to have some bad bugs growing in there. And to my own surprise, they did not detect anything. The only issue now going forward is I'm very, very low or also have non-existent some of the good bacteria that you need to thrive, that your body needs to break down food to provide you with the nutrients to function. So some pretty key ones there, and I'll give you a breakdown of when I go through the website here on Microba. But yeah, it's so important to be able to obviously get some of those basic nutrients to just give your body energy to feed your microbiome, like those gut bugs, so that they can be supporting you and your immune system and that sort of thing. So I had my consult, which was to go over my results from Microba with a naturopath from Cultured Wellness last Thursday. And I'm going to just give you some key insights into that. I'm not going to go over the whole report and everything because it's really long-winded and it takes a long time to read through. But I just want to show you what it's all about. So when you log into your Microba account, you come up to this dashboard. Obviously, you can see previous test results, that sort of thing, your kits and that sort of thing, the questionnaires that you fill out. So before or when I sent my stool sample off, I had to fill out a whole heap of questionnaires on what I eat, when I eat, what my, my medical history is like, family history of different gut-related things is like, mood, sleep, everything was pretty much in this questionnaire, which is obviously really important as Microba are collecting this data, and this is going towards the research of, why certain people get certain things and maybe certain lifestyle choices and things that we do are really contributing to that, which we definitely know. We know that now. What we eat, you are what you eat. That saying's been around for a long, long time. Okay, so in terms of the report, I'll bring that up. As a base thing to start with, they tell you where you're sitting on the scale, okay? So they've done so much research and they really know, based on people's microbiome, who's pretty healthy and who's not. I'm smack bang in the middle, and I actually was surprised by this. I did think I was going to be down the low end of the scale, but the key is to be up here. This is when you're thriving. This is when your immune system is just able to cope with so much more. You're happier, you're just functioning so well. And this is where I want to be at, basically. So even sitting here, it's so surprising because I'm average population. And to me, I'm so unhealthy. I feel horrible. I never have any energy. My skin is struggling. I do have some gut issues and symptoms. I'm really lucky that I haven't had severe symptoms with my Crohn's for a lot of years. And I'm one of those people that are lucky enough to not have had surgery and not be on medication at all. I have not been on medication since I was 15. So it's a surprise that that's the average population. We're all struggling with some stuff and, you know, just getting through life and dealing with symptoms, just putting up with them rather than feeling really great. So from my test, you get a few key insights, right? And this is just the base superficial stuff that you can go over. You don't need to have, you know, a lot of knowledge about the gut and that sort of thing to look at this. They describe everything. They explain why things are good. I don't have the bacteria that are producing some really key nutrients like butyrate that's important for your gut cells to thrive and to reduce inflammation. So I know that I am really, and regular appetite, like sometimes I've got none and sometimes I'm eating way, way too much. I'm just not in a steady, you know, rhythm with that too. But obviously I know that my body's really inflamed. I can tell because I've got that experience and I've really been looking into things for a long time. You might not even be aware and you might not even realize how crap you actually feel or how good you could feel. So that's that. My nervous system really low. Again, I know this because of my sleep, because of my high stress, my mood issues, that sort of stuff. I know my nervous system's struggling to get kind of what it needs to really fire and do well. I actually feel like sometimes I'm just the clumsiest, hopeless person. Like my brain does not connect sometimes with my muscles and what I want to do. I run into things, I drop things like on a daily basis. And I just feel like I'm not firing as best as I could. And then there's to prevent kidney stones. So that's another key insight there that I did not know about, and I'll read up on that a little bit more. But these are some of the other ones that I really was interested in. Calm your mind. So potential to calm your mind. They've done so many studies on what things we need to be able to feel at ease. Some of you might know, obviously, I was diagnosed with postnatal depression and some anxiety issues after having Rain. But I've struggled with these sort of things my whole life, and it's always made me feel really on the outer. I've found it hard to really just feel at ease in a lot of circumstances in my life and social settings and that sort of stuff. And I've always just felt like, what the hell? Like, what are you doing? Like, this should be easy, and it doesn't feel easy. And it's so kind of great to be able to have this evidence to back me up now as to like, yes, like I've always felt like this isn't me. This isn't, you know, how I normally would be responding in this situation or whatnot. And it's so great to have a reason why and a potential way to fix it. So yeah, mental health, I know that's an issue for me. That's a flag, and my gut is the reason why, basically. Folate, I mean, I haven't never had any fertility issues, but if this is something that you are struggling with, again, this test can give you insights into so many different areas, and so many things that you can really potentially work on that are just going to really boost your health. Heart disease, low, which is great. Make branched chain amino acids. So that's a protein builder. So that's average. Again, it's really important, obviously, to build muscle, but even again for fertility and in different things like that, you need to be able to make proteins. Your whole body is made up, every molecule pretty much and cell in your body is made up of proteins and other things. You really need that. Promote inflammation, average. Yeah. So that doesn't surprise me at all. I know that my body gets inflamed really easy and produces those inflammatory products. Some really key things I don't have, obviously, we talked about butyrate. This one here I'll talk a little bit about later, but basically it eats up some of the excess mucus in your gut so that your body's able to lay new gut cells and to keep your gut lining really healthy. Obviously, most of us know somebody that has some kind of gut related issues these days. Like, it's just so commonplace. The abnormal cells in the gut, in the bowel, especially from 50 onwards, you're a real prime candidate there. It's so much of it can come down to what is in your gut, what bugs are in your gut, and whether they're doing their job properly. So I'll talk about that one later. Good, I don't have that inflammatory species. We don't want that. But I don't even have some that are going to break down starches and things. So my body really struggles to deal with those kinds of foods. But they're also really important to feed my gut microbiome. So not being able to break them down means that my gut bugs aren't getting what they need. And no wonder you're about to see I don't have so many good bacteria that I should have. Some of them are just not even there, undetected altogether. So, and then this one's hilarious. So Dale will agree that I oh my God, if I eat certain foods, I can clear a room, like so bad. And I have had issues with bloating and like flatulence, like obviously since I was diagnosed quite early with a gut related issue, but I've learned to really avoid certain foods that are going to promote that. I manage it in a way, basically, by not eating all the good foods that are going to feed my bugs that are going to create that gas. But that's not a way to survive, really. It's not actually helping me become healthier. And there's a lot of things that I know now I can do to boost my good gut bugs, so that this isn't going to be an issue. But yeah, that might be you too. Hey, I think we've all been there. Improve your gut. Yeah. So then they're going to give you a list of foods that you need to eat and include in your diet, which is really, really cool. So what I want to do now is actually just delve into a little bit of the deeper stuff, just to quickly show you important species. So my naturopath went over this with me. This is the one I was just talking about before that eats up some of the mucus that is really important for good gut health and good gut cells. And as you can see, it's good and bad. If you have not enough of it, or too much of it, it's bad, basically, associated with poor health. Obviously, I've got a little bit more than the average, and it's pretty crucial. And it's funny that Crohn's disease is an affliction, I guess, of the gut lining. Your body attacks itself and eats away at some of those cells in the lining of your gut and causes ulcers and things like that, and you can have blood, like bleeding and that sort of stuff in your stools. I've got that. I was diagnosed with that, obviously, and it's pretty incredible. They haven't really delved into too much research with this sort of stuff yet, but if they know that this is what it does, it would not surprise me if it's had some kind of a role in creating those symptoms in me. And then, as you're going to see, not detected. So there is so many of these bifidi bacteria that I do not even have present in my body. And these ones are great in terms of, because the company I talk about a lot, Cultured Wellness, and their products, they're beautiful, nourishing yogurt and kefir and apple juice are like so full of bifidi bacteria and bacteroides that are so important. We know are so important for gut health. And I obviously have not been eating enough of those, as you can see, but at least I really know I've got a starting point in how to really put them back in my gut to stay, and not just kind of band-aid things by taking over-the-counter probiotics that aren't full of the right kind of bacteria or have enough of them in there to really be doing anything other than taking some symptoms away briefly. So really cool. One last thing I want to sort of touch on though is, most of you have heard of E. coli probably. So my gut doesn't have any of it. And it's actually really important. That is a mistake. We know that it is meant to be in your gut. It is really important for a few different things. If it's going to let me open this, which it's not, that's okay. So basically, I can give you the rundown. E. coli is really good at breaking down a few things. It helps with your B vitamins, vitamin K, but also fatty acids. So essential fatty acids. So breaking down good fats to their smallest form so that they can be absorbed. And this is a really funny one because I have always struggled with really, really dry skin. And I know I struggle digesting fats. I struggle with fatty meals like fish and chips and that sort of stuff. They make me feel so ill. And it's so great to be able to have the evidence to be like, well, this is why I can't digest those. And this might apply to you too. Like, there's a lot of reasons why maybe you can't digest fats, but this is just one of the things. And if a test like this can give you these kinds of insights to potentially allow you to live a more fuller life, then I don't know, I just think it's a no-brainer. Why not do one? So I can definitely give everybody a lot of details into where to start if you want to investigate your gut health. I can get these test kits for you. I can order them in as I'm a healthcare practitioner. I can refer for this sort of stuff. Majority of it I have a good understanding of. I can break down these reports for you. I can tell you what to implement. I'm going through it myself. My biggest thing is that I just don't do things for myself. I have the knowledge sitting there, but I just don't implement it. And I'm hoping now I've got this hard evidence that really backs up that I know that I need to do these things, because otherwise I'm just going to potentially even drop lower and be at risk of a lot of serious health conditions. I'm hoping this is enough of a motivator for me to stick to something, stick to a program long term. And you're going to see what kind of things I am including in some next videos I'll be doing over the next few weeks. So stay tuned. But like I said, please, please, please contact me on the Facebook page, Life with Laura Jane, or my group, my private group, Life by Laura. You can contact me via private message if you've got any questions about it, the costs of it, how to get started. And I can definitely steer you in the right direction if you've got some more serious health concerns that you may really need some support with and don't know where to turn. So thank you so much for watching this whole video. If you've made it to the end, I'm super proud of you, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.